What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now today I have an unboxing and first impressions on the Adidas Copa Pure 2 Plus, and this is the box that it comes with. Here you guys can see Copa Pure 2 Plus, and this is kind of like the updated version of the Copa Pure. I was gonna get the zero point 0.1 version of the previous one, but then this one came out and I saw that the Plus model does come with laces, so I just decided to get the Plus model. You guys can see here it still say Copa, and it comes in a blackout box, which I think is pretty cool. And you open it, it does come with a string bag, which is pretty nice, and does match the color. It does say Copa in white and blue. Overall, it's a really nice string bag, but I don't really use these, to be honest. So here we have it, the new Copa Pure 2 Plus. Now this is the Plus model, which now has laces, which I think is pretty cool. And overall, I think it's just better for the performance of the boot. So today I'm just gonna go over the boot and give you guys my first impressions and like my first initial thoughts. I will be doing an on-feet portion as well, so if you guys want to see that, make sure to keep watching the video. So the Copa Pure 2 Plus kind of just improves upon the previous model, and I think they just added and like changed small things. I see like they kind of changed the heel a little bit, and overall just added laces to the Plus model. And I think just the performance is going to be overall better because of the lacing system. So here with the Copa, we do get a calfskin toe box, which is super soft and it feels really nice. It does feel a little bit padded. It's not super thick, but it's not like really thin either. It's still nice and plush. So you guys can see how soft this toe box is. And this is from right out of the box. I haven't worn these yet, and they're nice and soft. So I believe the leather is from this area right here. You guys can see kind of the transition here between the different materials. So this is the toe box, and then I think it goes up to here. So like from this area all the way up to here is where you will get calfskin leather. And yes, it's calfskin leather, but again, it's very soft and it feels really nice. Like I don't really mind that it is calfskin and not kangaroo. It does transition into this other material here, which is called fusion skin, which starts right here, I believe. And there is a little bit of difference. You do feel like the difference. It doesn't feel like leather at all. It does feel more like a synthetic, but I feel like it's a good thickness and kind of just matches the thickness of the leather. And you know, the transition doesn't really feel super harsh, like in hand. Like it's still kind of soft. Yes, there's a little bit more like resistance to it, but I feel like once broken in, like the transition will be a lot better. And honestly, this is just for kind of just helps improve performance. I think it's just gonna have a better lockdown here in the midfoot. Here we do get a one-piece upper with this knitted material, which is nice, soft, and stretchy. It's kind of on the thinner side. It's not like a super thick knitted material, but it's nice and stretchy. You guys can see that it stretches really well. There isn't really any resistance, even though this was a laceless model. And now we do get laces with the Plus model, which obviously is just going to improve the performance and lockdown of the boot. Here in the heel, we do get these two like nice padded heel pillows. Hopefully you guys can see that. And they're pretty good. They're not super thick, but they're not super thin. I feel like they provide a good amount of cushioning to your heels, and it's going to be a good like amount of lockdown. Here we have the torsion sole plate, which we have seen from Adidas before, and this was originally introduced in this boot right here, the Adidas Nemesis 17.1, I believe. You guys can see it is the same sole plate. So I have had experience with the sole plate, obviously, because this boot is actually one of my favorite boots, if you guys didn't know. And the sole plate on this, it is kind of like flexible, but it does still have more of a responsive feel. It feels really nice in my opinion. At first, it does feel a little bit stiff, but once kind of you wear them out, they do get a little bit more flexible, and they just have more, like I said, nice responsive feel to it. So for me, I really like this sole plate and the stud pattern. I'll show you guys with these. The stud pattern are these like kind of half conical studs, so they kind of have a bit more bite to them. You're still able to maneuver and like you don't really feel super like stuck on the ground. And for AJ, they're pretty good as well. I didn't really find that I got stuck on the grass or anything. Alright, so now we'll move on to the on feet portion so I can share with you guys the fit and feel on feet. Alright guys, so here I have the Adidas Copa Pure 2 Plus on feet, and these boots are very comfortable right out of the box. I actually really like the way they fit. They wrap your foot very nicely, and they have more of a snug type of fit. They're not super wide, but right out of the box comfort, they're pretty good. I don't really have any discomfort. Usually I have some discomfort here on the side of my foot, but these are actually pretty comfortable right out of the box. And the transition between materials is very seamless. The heel area feels nice and locked in. I don't really feel any movement as I'm lifting my foot. Like those two pillows do a really good job of keeping your heel nice and snug. Also, in terms of width, I do have a bit of a wider foot, and as you guys can see, these kind of fit pretty nice. They're not overly tight. They do have some width to them, especially because of this knitted material here does stretch a good amount. And so I feel like if you have like medium wide feet, you are able to fit in these. They will feel a bit snug, but I feel like here in the toe box, since it is leather, it will stretch. And this material honestly is pretty soft. And I imagine it's just going to get softer as you play with them. Overall, I'm just happy with these boots. They're super comfortable. They fit really nicely. They feel really nice. And Adidas did a really good job on the fit of these boots. So my final thoughts on the Copa Pure 2 Plus. Now, like I said, I feel like this boot is really comfortable. And what surprised me is that transition between materials is very seamless. Like I kind of really like the way it feels on feet. Like you get a nice like calfskin leather, and then you get this material that honestly you don't really feel the transition on feet. For example, something like the Mizuno Beta, you do feel the transition a little just because that material is a bit thinner than the nice padded kangaroo leather. And with this boot, you don't really feel it just because, like I said, it kind of matches the thickness of the material. So it's a nice, easy transition. It's even hard to tell, like right here in person, like the transition point. So I feel like Adidas did a really good job in that aspect. The fit of the boot is also really great. It's really comfortable. It's really good for people that have a bit of a wider foot. And it's a great take on a modern leather soccer boot, in my opinion. So I will be testing these boots out. If you guys have any questions on this boot, make sure to leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.